Welcome to KnowUML. KnowUML is a tool to help you know UML. It's going to get you practice of going back and forth between the diagrams that is UML and code. In this example, we're going to show you how to set this up in a Java Eclipse environment. So that's if you're taking a class that uses Eclipse as your development environment, you can just install this right away. It's a Java app that runs. And so the first step is to download the zip file. It's going to be somewhere easily accessible to you. You'll figure that out where it is. There'll probably be a link right next to this video. But here is the file that gets downloaded. And then you need to extract this zip file. Now, if you haven't done that before, it's pretty straightforward. You can just say extract all and in Windows, and that'll do that. And in Mac, you just double click it and it'll automatically extract into the current folder. But that current folder should be someplace where you're going to keep track of it. You know, like if I did it right here, it's going to show up in the download folder. And that's fine unless you delete stuff from your download folder or you forget where you put it. So in my case, I actually put it in a specific Java folder I have for my Java projects, and we're going to see that in a second. So it is possible to run KnowUML directly, but you have to have your environment set up to run what's called a jar file. And so you don't have to do that. That's what this setup here is. So you don't have to set up the Java environment exactly. But again, you download that and then you extract that using zip tools of whatever's appropriate to your machine and go from there. So from there, I'm in Eclipse. Now this actually happens to be a Java Enterprise Edition version of it, but you don't need that. I have a regular version of Eclipse, which I use. I'm just actually using this because I have no projects in this one right now. So I'm going to say open projects from file system, and that's going to open up this big busy screen. We don't need most of this stuff. You see import source here, there's this directory button. You're going to click that and then you're going to go to the directory where your Java stuff is. So you can see I have eDrive/Java, and inside of there I've extracted RunKnowUML. Now I can double click that and you'll see this set of folders, and this, you know, you're in the right place. So the bin stands for binary, the current is the current diagram. We're going to see that as we go about it. Don't click on any of these things inside. Just stop here. It should say run KnowUML down here and select folder. And you know you've done it correctly because there'll be a little checkbox here and it'll say import as Eclipse project. And so if you have this, then you're good to go and you can just hit finish. And then it gets you KnowUML. Now let's make sure it's all running because you don't want to get too far without it. So if you come into the source, the default package, there's this Java class called RunKnowUML, and it doesn't do much. It says main.main args. So what the heck is that mean? Well, there's this KnowUML main class which runs KnowUML, and I'm just calling that. So this is actually what gets run if you would run it directly as what's called a jar. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to run it from here. And that's going to give us a nice environment where everything's set up and run, and you don't have to set up shortcuts for Java or run Java jars or do it from command line. It should all just work just fine from here. And so when you hit the run button up here, or you can actually go to the run menu if you prefer that, but there's actually a little button here that, you know, looks like a play button. You hit run, then it's going to pop up, and for me it pops up on my other screen, but it's going to pop up this little window. And you just want to make sure everything's up and ready to go. You only have to do this one time, but put in your student ID, whatever that is, however many digits that is. And then just to make sure we have the right person, oops, put in your first and last name, and you hit login. And then again, you should never ever have to do that again. And you know everything's working if you came up to the badges screen. So we'll go through a lot more of this tool in other videos. But if you got this far, everything should be set up and good to go. If you can't get this far, note any error messages. That's another great thing. If something's going wrong, it probably is going to show up down here where if you can't find a file or can't load something or something's missing, or it'll tell you what's going on right there. But if you get to this far, you should be good to go, and you can go check out other videos. But otherwise, stop, ask for help right away. Don't put this off. This is a critical part of the class, and so it's going to be an important tool to get set up. So let me know if you have trouble. Otherwise, have fun knowing UML.